Welcome back to Students for Political Engagement. Today, we have Mr. Abu Alam with us, who is running for Richmond Hill's Regional and Local Councillor. Welcome, Mr. Abu. To start off on a light note, tell us a little about your background with Richmond Hill. When did you move in, and what's your favorite thing to do here?
When did I move in? Move in on what?
Perhaps just in the city.
In the city. Let's say 1996.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And what's your favorite thing to do here?
In Richmond Hill, I came to do the business. I came in Richmond Hill. I opened my first health food store in Hillcrest Mall. And that was my starting. That is the reason why I came to Richmond Hill to start my business. After that, I liked the city. It was town in that time. Now it is city. And I love Richmond Hill.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, so our first question for you is about transportation. So obviously, an important aspect for a good city is good transportation. So if you were elected, what would you do to, develop and improve the transportation system of Richmond Hill?
Now, in order to answer that things, all of you are a student, you need to understand the process. Even I win, and my individual effort is not going to make any difference. So the difference we can make in a collective approach. And previously, if you notice, what you see in Anyang State and the Highway 7, the shelter they made, that's make the town more congested, then make a transportable movement easier. It is just wastage of money they did, and it causing a lot of traffic. And again, the roads are not designed the way it should be because it was a town before, now it is city. But the planning was not done properly. Whoever did the planning and the people who was involved in the planning, they have little or no knowledge about the urban planning. So there is a lot of things to be done. You need a teamwork who has the expertise knowledge, redesign the city the way it should be in 21st century.
Yeah, thank you. Speaking of urban development, speaking of plumbing and everything, urban development is a large and important part of the city's council's responsibility. Right now, the lack of housing is an important problem that is facing Richmond Hill as our population grows. On the other hand, density of housing and adequate services are also a concern of many residents. What is your philosophy on how a city council should approach this problem and balance between the two issues?
Majority town, and if I'm dealing with the Ontario, I must say the Ontario is very much every municipality highly influenced by the builders. So whatever the builder wants, they get that. So we need to understand that the elected representative is making the right decision for the people who vote them and the taxpayer who pay the bill for them, not the interest of the builders, but the interest for the general citizen who badly need it. Housing problem in Richmond Hill cannot be solved the way the planning is going. So if you see, it was a town at one time, it is a city. The giant houses they're making and the people living, only few people. Many of the houses is foreign buyers. They buy the house, they leave it empty, and there is no legal action against them so that the houses should not be empty. And the property they're making, it should be made in a way so that within the reach of the people who can afford to buy that type of property. We know the Richmond, the whole Ontario, and as a whole, the whole Canada, the housing price is unbearable and unpredictable, and it is not stopped here. The Bank of Canada, the decision they made, it is not good for the general people, all the limited income people. They are looking to buy a property for them or in future. It is beyond their buying capacity. So what we need to do, we need to understand there is a liaison. Canada has lot of layer of governments, and one protect the others or one block the others to progress. In Richmond Hill, in order to see uh, the accommodation problem, we need to give the fair chance for the development with the smaller houses that can accommodate many people that are waiting to live in Richmond Hill.
So, just as a follow-up, how do you think we can move towards your idea of having like smaller houses and more people living in them? Is it perhaps like changing zoning laws, or how do you think that could be
Zoning
achieved?
law is changing. Zoning law is changing. Only it changes for the interest of the builder. So when the builder wants something to make the zoning law change, but there is highly influenced political uh, people sitting in the council and the mayor. So during the day, you will see they are belongs to different political party, and they end at the night, they're all same. They're hanging together, making the plan, making the decision. People quit the politics. They used to sit before. They're still active in politics. They throw their candidate. There is always a teamwork. And this special situation in Richmond Hill, if you are aware of the situation, what takes place in the city council, there is a lot of trouble in the council, and that need to be resolved first before you can make a workable and better councils so that the zoning law and other planning can take place. And now, with the new change of the law, the strong mayoral power, so that will make major mistake, and it will have a serious impact in Richmond Hill politics. If the mayor get the strong power, as the Toronto mayor appreciate, but majority people see it has negative impact than positive impacts. Now, if you see these things, it has not touched anything about the housing. That is, this bill has nothing to do with the housing. And on top of that, they're giving absolute power to the mayor to make the decision, firing and hiring the city manager and the city staff. This is going to have a more negative impact than positive.
Thank you for that. So, on the topic of Richmond Hill, the financial health of the city is very important. So, what would you do as RNL councillor to ensure that Richmond Hill is on good financial grounds while at the same time providing the exact same for or improved for the city's services?
So, I mean, it is easy to ask what you will do and what I will do, but we need to see what is exactly taking place. Who are the candidates running? Who is introducing a candidate? Who will support a candidate? What is their network? How they will protect each other? These are the things you need to bring into factors. Because if you see who are the candidate running, if it is an old candidate, if he make a promise, then I'm going to do such and such beautiful things when I'm elected. Now let's ask, all these years you've been sitting as a regional council or council, what did you achieve so far? Why you want to run again and make a false promise again? Now, same thing, you need to see who are these councillor candidate running. I'm talking about the position I'm running, regional council. How many people running? Who are these people? Who sponsored them? Who is behind them? What is their plan? What is their plan? Is it for the taxpayer? Is it for the citizen? Or it is for their own interest? That is what we need to see. Until I go there, I do not know their book. And we need to understand how much money misused, how much money they paid for the legal bills, and all these things you need to understand before you need to understand the taxpayer paying the money for the tax to see the improvement of the city and that serve their interest in different area, not to pay the legal bills to the councillor or the internal fighting legal cost out of the taxpayers' money.
Okay, just as a follow-up, so if you were elected to council, what would be your idea of how the city should spend its money?
I'll make them accountable. Ask the question, why? Why and why? If two councillors cause trouble, they should take care of each other's bill, not the city. If they have a litigation issue, they should be paying for their own action, the bill from their side, not the taxpayer money. So I will ask the question, why? I will ask why this money will go. I will ask that who is running the game? Is the bureaucrats or politician? If the politician is elected to represent, they should be representing and they will guide what is best for the town, for the city.
Cool, thank you.
You will,
Sorry, you were saying? Protecting the environment and building green spaces are really important to Richmond Hills City. What will you do anything? What will you do to address this?
again, the situation, if it is not your first program, then you probably know what happened previously. And a time, Oak Ridge Moraine was supposed to be protected. Now what they are building there. So again, it comes, the builder make the decision. It's not the city. In order to maintain these things, the council need to work in a way that serve the best interest for the city. So I individually cannot give any decision or any plan. It has to be collective effort to see all of the council and the mayor working for the benefit of the citizen in this town or in the city.
Okay, on the next question, I think you talked a lot about how you as an individual, you have less power, and it is important for all the councillors to work collectively to address issues. So if you were elected as a councillor, what would you do to, you know, get more councillors to work together on issues?
Well, it should be transparent, and it should be integrity, accountability, and responsibility. If I see anything that is not for the interest of the people of Richmond Hill, then I will oppose. I will go to the public. I'll make sure it is focused in public and people know exactly what is happening and people can give their inputs that they oppose or they favor for it. I think the people's input is very important and very few times it takes place before the decision is made by the mayor and the council. So I'll make sure the transparency is there, accountability is there, and people knows exactly what is happening.
As a follow-up to that, I was just wondering, once transparency is established, how will councillors then work together to do things?
They will, when the transparency is there, then they will know they individually, one or two council, if they remain silent and do not participate, it will not make any difference. It will be a collective effort. But again, what I see this time will be more challenging. The strong mayor's power is going to stop all kind of progress in the city. All kind of progress will be stopped by the strong mayoral powers. And this particular law is bad for this city and it is interfering the province to the municipal matters. So there is a challenge, and only if we know how to challenge and how to make accountable for the mayor, then it will be effective council that can work properly. Other than that, there is a big challenge for not only Richmond Hill, all Ontario will have this challenge under the strong mayor's power.
Okay, thank you for that answer. And our next question is on York Region. So as if you were elected as a regional and local councillor, you would not only represent Richmond Hill, you would represent Richmond Hill at York Regional Council. So how would you navigate the relationship between York Region and Richmond Hill, and how will you represent Richmond Hill at a York Region level?
As you know that this is a regional matter, it has to be a collective effort, and you have an inter-city collective relationship, and it's not how I build, is the matter and the issue that will come forward. We'll have to collectively work together to resolve this matter. And as you start working with the team, you build a personal relationship and can work effectively with the other councillor on the other cities.
Thank you for the answer. Just one last question for tonight. And it will be, say the councillors have been building rapport and they've been working together. What is the first priority you have on the list that you want to push on the agenda of City Council?
I didn't follow your question again.
So let's say all the councillors are working together.
Yes.
What is the number one thing you would prioritize to put on the agenda of City Council?
No violence, no fight. Just
Yes.
work peacefully.
Just working together. Everybody is
working together.
Yes.
That is the only thing. Working together. No misunderstanding, no argument, no violence, no fighting. The citizen is priority, and work with them as a team, as we represent the different wards, and we have to work collectively as a team, not individually, not liking, disliking an issue. We're working as a team. That will be the priority.
Thank you. That was a great answer. And yeah, thank you for tonight. That concludes our interview. And again, if you have any questions, send us an email.